10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, and welcome to Dax Chats. In this episode, I'm speaking to a guy who's just released his brand new EP. It's called Chasing the Sun, and his first single was called Chasing the Sun also. It was the lead single off the EP, and now he has a brand new single out. It's called Wild Flowers. I'm talking about none other than Andy Penkow. And right now, Dax Chats to Andy Penkow. Here he is right now. G'day, Andy. How are you, buddy?
G'day, Dax. Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
I'm doing well, mate. I'm doing well. Yeah, a bit of a family trip yesterday, so we missed our little interview yesterday. So we thought we'll do it today.
These things happen, don't they? That's all good, though. Hope you had a good day. That's the main thing.
Oh, it was awesome! You see the little pictures we posted like yesterday on
I
Facebook?
did. Yeah, I did see some of those. Very nice. Very nice, yeah.
So, big news today. Obviously, that's all over social media. I think it's a bit of a preemptive strike by just about everybody in the country music industry. But they say that the Tamworth Country Music Festival 2021 is not going to happen.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
Mate, it's a hot topic, isn't it, today? That's for sure. Yeah, I think we're all wondering what was going to happen. I know that I've heard a few mixed kind of comments about it going ahead, not going ahead, but yeah, I guess it's set in stone now. It's not happening. Yeah.
Well, that's not the official thing from the country Tamworth Country Music Festival. The official thing that happened at 10 o'clock today was that because of the restrictions that are currently in place, the festival organizers feel that it can't go ahead. So they're going to submit their fears to the Tamworth Regional Council. And on next Tuesday, the council will have a meeting and they'll decide what's going to happen. So it's not quite over yet, but yes, it looks like the writing's on the wall.
Well, yeah, I guess I did see the press release and it did read something along those lines. So and yeah, I guess it is what it is. Kind of, I think we were all kind of predicting that anyway, to be honest. So yeah.
Well, yeah, in a lot of the interviews I've done, a lot of the talk has been around COVID and festivals shutting down, and are we looking to ahead towards Tamworth 2021? And it's really sad that it has come to this. Obviously, with borders closed and there's no way of knowing when they're going to open up again. Yeah, it's a hard decision for them to make.
It is a hard decision, and mate, I'm glad that I wasn't the one making it, to be honest. But I think I think maybe 2022 we'll have to look forward to, I guess, more than anything, and hopefully other festivals open up in between that time.
It's a strange situation now because it's a whole thing of not knowing, like during our hottest months, I would feel that the numbers of cases and stuff like that would diminish like it has across China. So, I think, are they jumping the gun too early? That's my thought. It's like if the Tamworth Regional Council turn around and say that's it, it's over, but come November, there's no cases in Australia whatsoever, and they open borders up again. It's like, I don't know. It's a weird one, and I'm still waiting until next Tuesday. I'm gonna see what happens.
Yeah, I think, mate, if you put it like that, I think kind of makes sense, you know. For a lot of us artists as well, we've already booked gigs by this time,
Yep.
leading up to Tamworth, and not having anything booked is definitely a little bit like, what's going on type thing.
Mm.
But yeah, I think it's a bit of a strange time, but we'll see. We'll see next week, like you said.
Yeah, well, I think to me it was like I've been on both sides of the fence because I've seen the whole thing evolve here in China, and I've seen it all dissipate in China. But then the
Yeah,
chances of it coming back in the cooler months is looking like it might happen too. So you just don't know, if one
yeah,
person is infected when Tamworth happens, it could be a bad thing. So who knows?
exactly.
Who knows?
Yeah, totally
Mm.
agree with you. But yeah, not to worry.
A-
What do you
And I
do, hey?
and I and I guess a lot of people say that it's a multifaceted event. So it's not just
Yeah,
Tamworth Regional Council putting it on, or the Tamworth Country Music Festival Association putting it on, or the Country Music Association of Australia putting it on. It's all the individual pubs and stuff like that that actually have the pubs and clubs that have the shows on.
yeah.
That with the social distancing rules right now, it just doesn't seem viable.
No, I think it'd be a really big challenge for him, to be honest, and not just Tamworth as well. I always try and book a few gigs outside of Tamworth on the way up. So I think a lot of those towns will be feeling it too, you know, because I think they will rely on this as quite a big boost to the economy up there. So it's going to be a
Correct.
bit of a
Mm.
downfall for them. Yeah,
Yeah. Anyway, let's get off the bad topics and let's get on to the
yeah.
good topics.
Get onto the good stuff. Yeah, yeah.
So
Exactly.
it must have been a hard decision for you to actually decide to bring out this EP during this time, but
Mm.
you did, and good on
Yeah,
you for doing it, because I
thank
think
you.
it keeps people interested, and it keeps people people need to feel something right now, like radio
Yeah,
stations across the world are playing all this music that keeps coming out, and it's great that all this music keeps coming out. So kudos to you for bringing the songs out. And
yeah. Thanks.
the first track was Chasing the Sun, which is the title track of the EP. Talk us through that song.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'd already planned to release it pre-COVID. So for me, it was going to happen rain, hail, or shine, to be honest. So
Mm.
I think that was one of the things for me. But I ended up writing Chasing the Sun with Lynn Botel. I wrote that song with her down in Melbourne at the end of last year. And I specifically went down there to write for this EP. And I wrote with her, and I co-wrote with David Carter from Carter and Carter as well. But Chasing the Sun kind of stemmed from a really kind of weird time in my life where I was kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do and where I wanted to be. And I felt like a bit of a drifter, I guess, more than anything. And that's what the song's really about, you know. But it also kind of gives the listener a bit of hope as well.
Mm.
And hopefully, people get what they want out of the song. That's the main thing, isn't it? Being an artist. So,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
That's right. And it's a great song. I love it.
Oh, cheers. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, we play it on the Country Thunder Network, of course.
You do,
Absolutely.
you do play it on there, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's
Um,
done pretty well. The song, I was really happy with it, and yeah,
mm,
I think writing with Lynn was a good experience for me too, because it was one of my first co-writes. I thought I could write a song till I sat in a room with her.
it's amazing, right? Because like I'm the same. When I've written songs, like I've for years written songs by myself, and like just come out with these songs. I've either produced them myself, or in the early days I walked into a recording studio with no idea what I was doing, and the engineer, producer, whatever you want to call him at the time,
Yeah,
he had to get session musicians in to make it all happen.
yeah,
But but everything was written by me. And then
yeah, yeah,
when I did the whiskey, I wrote the song myself, and then I went, I'm just going to throw this out to somebody and see what they think. So I threw it out to Troy Kemp and said,
Champion,
what do you
yeah.
think of this? And then Kempy, threw stuff back at me, and I've actually got demos of the song with him singing it.
Yeah, right.
He's like,
Unreleased, eh? Love it.
Yeah, that's right. And he's like, you can change these words here and do this and do that. And it was like, so together we just, and it was like, it was completely different to, what I used to do. Just, I write the songs and I, play it on the guitar and I'll be like, that's
Yeah.
a song. There you go.
Sounds
Throw it
all
out
right.
there and see if it sticks.
I hear.
So
I
yeah,
hear.
co-writing is a completely different experience, and
Mate.
something that I really enjoyed during the last couple of writes, that I've done.
Yeah.
But Lynn Botell's an awesome, how many golden guitars she got now? 9 golden
I think
guitars.
she's got 9 of those. Yeah, sitting on a mantelpiece at home. Yeah, she's pretty good
Yeah.
for her. Yeah.
So,
wouldn't mind taking one off her hands. She wouldn't miss it, would she?
No. She's got 9 of them. I mean, so that's
Yeah,
it.
no.
Travis has only got 7. So
Poor Trav. He's catching up though. I think he might get there. He might beat her.
I think he might have a good go at it with this new album too for next year. I think.
Yeah, he's got some good stuff happening. Yeah.
Yeah. So so the new single is Wildflowers. Now this was quite different for you, as you said. It was sort of an amalgamation of 2 songs that you had.
Yeah, it was. This song I kind of put on a scrap heap after I wrote it. So it would have been about 10 years ago. I used to head down to Parks, New South Wales, and there's a country music festival on down there. So I'd go down there every year. And when I went down there one year, they just had a lot of rain that year, and it was like springtime, and around this time actually they used to have it. And there's just a lot of wildflowers and stuff growing on the side of the road. And it kind of stuck in my mind. And I got down to the to Parks and sat in the hotel room for about an hour before I went on stage and I wrote this song. Then I put it on a pile, like I said. And then I wrote another song a couple of years later, which was called Wild Hearts. And then I did the same thing. I kind of scrap heaped that. And then when I went to Shane Nicholson, who produced the EP for me, I kind of sat down and went over both the songs, and we decided to mesh them together and make one song, Wildflowers, which is what happened. And it's actually been the most successful song for me that I've released. So yeah, worked out all right.
And I think the success comes with look, your previous stuff, when we look at your previous stuff, Drowning in the Whiskey, No Sad Songs, even Chasing the Sun, it's all very melancholy stuff. All right.
Yeah.
But this song is light, it's uplifting, it's got this beautiful, like, I love it. I love listening to it. It's like,
thank you.
Whereas when you think about No Sad Songs or
put you in a different place.
They do. They put you in a different place. Whereas this song is just joyful. I love it.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I think it's funny it's on this EP, and Shane said the same thing. We'll put this on it because it'll just change the dynamic, and it has. It really did. So obviously trust everything that Shane says. But yeah.
Absolutely.
really proud of this one. And this was my first. Well, Chasing the Sun was played here on commercial radio as well, which is probably a big thing for me. And then it's got Wildflowers getting a fair bit of airplay now, which is great. Yeah.
So I guess the success of Wildflowers. I did see that it is sort of being voted for in the Country Thunder 20. I can't tell you too much. I don't know what's going to happen.
All right, don't spill.
At the end of this week, I don't know how many people are going to vote for it. We would like them to vote for it, of course.
Keep voting.
Keep voting for sure. But this EP is quite good as well. And what's next from the EP? Are you going to release a new single?
I am actually. It's funny you say that you asked that. 25th of September, I'm going ahead with the next single. And I'm going to release a single called The Biggest Hearts Can Break off that EP. And that's a co-write that I did with David Carter. And it's actually one of probably my favorite songs on the EP. It rings home to me a lot. And hopefully people can relate to it. So in a couple of 3 weeks that'll be out. So I've kind of backed the singles up a fair amount. I thought it would probably be the right thing to do at this time because you're not out gigging and you need to keep yourself current, don't you? So I've just released a few things one after the other, and it's been pretty successful so far. But looking forward to getting that song out there to radio.
Cool, excellent. I look forward to hearing that one too. There you go.
Thanks.
Do you think moving on from this, because of the success of Wildflowers and because it is a different you with that song, do you think that this may be an avenue that you want to continue working down, instead of all of the somber stuff that was before that?
Yeah, you sound like my mum. You've been talking to her, haven't you? Yeah, I think it's probably. I do think that's that. I'm going to explore that avenue a little bit more. Next year, I'm hoping to get over to Nashville at some stage, and work over there with a few producers and get a little bit different flavor happening. And yeah, definitely going to ride that train a little bit longer for sure. But I think it's kind of my signature to throw a sad song in there, so I've got to throw a few in still.
I get that, but I just think the uplifting, positive sounds that came from Wildflowers is certainly something that you should re-look at for future events.
For sure. No, I take that on board, and I think especially what's happening in the world too. You kind of you want to hear something happy. You want something that's going to give you a smile or put a smile on your face. So yeah, I think you're right. You hit the nail on the head.
And I spoke to Paula from Jetty Road the other day, and she was saying it's hard to write at this stage because all we're thinking about is this pandemic. All that we're hearing about is a pandemic, and so to find something that's more outside of it's like escapism, right? We need to find something to write about that's outside of what's currently happening in the world and currently in the media and all over the place that we can't get away from. So we need to escape from that. So actually
100%.
writing songs so actually writing songs that can escape that feeling would be great.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
I'll work on it. I'll work on it. I think I'm in a bit of a different place. So I think that the EP, I was in a bit of a low when I was writing those songs. So I think that kind of reflects on the feeling of the EP. But moving into the next album, because I'm going to do an album, it's going to be a bit different. So, and I like to push the boundary a little bit too. I like to kind of have a bit of a different flavor, and I like to stretch the imagination a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all your songs are great. Don't get me wrong. All your songs are great. I love them all. I'm just happier that you've come up with this nice, lighthearted, cruising song.
True. I think. I was going to release from my first album. There was a song a track on that album called "One Headlight," and it's more of an up tempo country song. And I didn't end up releasing it as a single. But I wish I had now because it's the most streamed song on the album, and it's more up tempo and so it's good research.
Yeah, there you go. See, it's not just me telling you; it's the general public.
Yeah, exactly. And your mum too. You've got to listen to her. I think.
Yeah, you've got to listen to your mum. That's right. All right. I hate to ask this, but I actually ask everybody, what are you looking ahead to? Obviously, we now probably can't look ahead to Tamworth. So what's on the agenda for you now?
So mate, I'm doing some. I know there's not a lot of festivals happening, but I've picked up a few regular spots um, in New South Wales, which is good. So I've got a handful of gigs leading me up until Christmas,
Oh,
which
cool.
is fantastic. Yeah. So that's one good thing. Definitely writing a bit more. I've got a bunch of songs that I'm picking through and getting ready for next year. So I'm moving into an album next year. I'm going to record something next year and hopefully head over to Nashville later in the year. Fingers crossed things come back to normal, and just really focus on that. So that's the biggest goal for me. Yeah.
I don't, to be honest, and I have to be honest, I don't see that international travel is going to take shape very quickly.
Yeah. I think you might be right.
But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean you can't have stuff recorded in Nashville.
This is true.
You might just have to Zoom call into the studio to watch how the magic happens, and do your vocals in Australia.
That could be the way to do it. Yeah. So that's something I'm definitely looking into towards next year, and I think after this EP, my profile's definitely got a bit bigger. So just working on that as well, which takes up a lot of time, because musicians, we're all artists, so we just want to write music and play music. But the business side of the business is always a lot of work involved, as all of us know. So that takes up a lot of my time, and it's probably been good.
The marketing, the social media, it's crazy,
Mate,
isn't it? It's like,
it is.
Yeah.
You know
like,
yourself,
I just want to write songs, but I got to do all this other stuff. And that's probably half the reason why my songs never went anywhere, because I just didn't do the social media. I didn't do the marketing. I just couldn't be bothered. That's not me.
It's tough, isn't it? I think I've got some really good people in my corner that I'm working with. Obviously working with Czech label now, which is fantastic. And working with a few other promoters here in Australia. Plus, I've got my head around it now as well. When I first released my first project, it was very scary because I had no idea what to do with it. But now, when you kind of release a few things, you know what to do and where to put the money, to be honest.
Where the mistakes are. Okay, we made this mistake last time. Let's not do that again.
Yeah, you're supposed to learn from them, but I don't know. Yeah.
All right, Andy, thank you very much for your time today. It's been brilliant speaking to you, and I wish you all the success with the new single that's coming out, and the continued success with Wildflowers. It's been brilliant.
Mate, thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it.
No worries. Anytime, buddy. I'm sure we'll talk again when the new single comes out.
Let's do it.
All right, man.
Cheers, mate.
See ya. Have a good one.
You too.
All right, that was Andy Penkow. His current single from his EP, Chasing the Sun, is called Wildflowers. And as you just heard, there's a new one coming out in the later part of September. So stick around for that. You can listen to Andy Penkow's songs on the Country Thunder Network, or you can vote for them in the Country Thunder 20, or you can get them on your favorite streaming platforms. As always, until next time, this is DJ Dax for Dax Chats, proudly supported by Neon Horse in Stanhope, Victoria. Bye for now.